Wake up, boys, wake up! Zenin's coming with the goods! It's finally here. After ages and ages of waiting, Zenin has finally provided the goods. Nothing to do with Zenin. Royal Mail in the UK is just an absolute nightmare. So I'm not wasting any time. I'm getting into this because I know what's in here. And I'm very excited. Oh, there she is. This is, for those unaware, the Digimon Pendulum Color Nightmare Soldiers Edition. My plan for this, open it up, see what makes it tick, and see what we can do with it. Let us open the box and get it out. Except I'm not going to do that. I lied to you. I'm actually already running one. This was a lie. This is Alex's now. For those of you unaware, I'm currently running through this device with Alex on his channel. So go there, go watch that. Before we open this guy up though, we've got some Zenin merch. This video is not sponsored by Zenin. Although Zenin, if you do want to sponsor me, like, just hit me up, man. Like, my inbox is always open. We get our little Zenin card. Got Hatsune Miku, Vmon, Terriermon, Deku, Gojo, Kalumon, Impmon, a Tamagotchi. Oh no. And then you've got the Zenin crew on the back with all the information and a thank you for your purchase. That's good. That's not what I'm here for though, because I've got like 100 of those already. I want the goodies. We've got Gizamon, he's a geezer, and Goromon for young Master Hayden, and Octamon, and Orochimon. That's not Orochimon, is it? That's one of the Devas, I think. Santairamon? Fuck knows. Uchu in the future, put it on the screen. Right, with that all out of the way, let's open this guy up and see what makes him tick. That's right, so today we are going to be taking apart the Pendulum Color, seeing what makes it tick, and maybe even doing a little bit of modification. Who knows, we'll see where we go. So, in order to get started, we're going to need some tools of the trade. The Pendulum Color is held in place by 4 standard Phillips head screws, so not a problem. We can get into that pretty easily with my old scuffed screwdriver. Let's see, that should do the trick. That's number 4. Right. Let's see what's inside. Now, if I know anything about Digivices, I know that there's a speaker in here somewhere, and it looks like it wants to open that way. Okay, so let's get the chain and the rubber gasket off just to stop things from flying out. What have we got? So we have, looks like that's your pendulum. Don't want to shake it too hard because I don't want to be resoldering the speaker back in. Yeah, it looks like that's the pendulum. It doesn't even look like it's fastened in place. Hang on a second. Let's see if I can get that out. It's not really in place. Oh, there, yeah, there it goes. So that is your pendulum. Just a little bar in a bit of plastic that hits these 2 metal prongs. You can see on here on the motherboard where it sits, and it just doesn't do anything. Right. Well, if you wanted to remove the clacky bit for whatever reason, you could. I'm going to put it back in. Do I regret doing it? Sorta. There we go. Back in place. You would have never known I took it out. So the motherboard is held in place by a screw there. Oh, this also comes off from the looks of things. There's a screw hidden under the battery. The battery which is... Wow, just... I saw rumors of this, or less rumors. I've seen... Yeah, that is just taped down. You can see the tape. Mine was already peeling off. That was the only bit holding it in place. Over all these important components. We won't question their craftsmanship just yet. Never mind the fact that, you know, this is a device that you've got to shake quite vigorously. And, you know, a battery isn't really something that you want kind of loose and flapping around. Okay. Now, what I like to do, close it back up, and flip it over, push on the screen, and there we go. There's the front shell. We can take that out. We've got our buttons, little plastic bit of screen that protects it from dust and gubbins, and there is the actual screen. Now what we want is this. This chip holds all the information of the Digimon Pendulum Color. I think this will still work while it's unplugged. Oh, there's little nubs that hold it in place. Oh, that is going to make my life so much easier. But here we go. So this is the inner workings of a Digimon Pendulum Color. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this little guy. I'm going to clamp it onto there, onto this chip. I'm going to read the data off of it, and I'm going to see what I can do. So another thing we had to do that I just did off camera because it's quite finicky is to get the screen out of its peg holes. There's a couple peg holes there that it needs to be pulled out of. You just need to be gentle with it. Don't want to force it out because you could rip the tiny little ribbon cable that connects the screen to the board. But in this case, we're all right. Let's get it clipped up and get a read. AS Programmer, plug our device in. Read, boy. It is reading. This can take a hot minute. Go, 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 go. There we go. Unclip the device. Cool, it's still got all our save data. That's important. Right, here we have all of the hex code that makes up the Digimon Pendulum Color. At least I hope so. I don't want any of this to be corrupted anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it, and I will name it Pure Nightmare Soldiers Dump. Okay, cool. Very good. Now that we've got our dump and we know where it is, we can open up a git bash or a command prompt, terminal, anything like that, anything that you use. Link it to our sprite tool. There we go. Link it to the sprite tool, type in export, dump backups, pure nightmare soldiers dump.bin, and it is a pen C3, and we want to call the folder Nightmare Soldiers Sprite. Okay, what went wrong? Required argument missing for the command export. Ha. Preset. There we go. Figured it out. So now in here, we've got every single sprite that makes up the Digimon Color Nightmare Soldiers. There's just a couple of things that I want to change in here to make it just a bit happier on my end, including, not limited to, replace the poop with a pink one. I can't believe that it's not pink. We also want just the standard poops to be pink, not just the attack sprite. So we go down here, make sure that the poop is the same one. It's not. So what I'll do is I'll copy that out here. I'll name it 739, the PNG, and I'll just put it in there to replace that one. There, it's 533, so we'll do that as well. Copy that out here, rename it 700, drag it straight back into the pendulum. Fantastic, so now we got pink poops. Another thing, I do like how they've got this all, it's all great, you know, they've done it in full English. I just want mine to be a little bit more consistent. So if I look, BG, we've got, if I bring this here, BG brighten sound, I prefer scene screen sound. Fridge, I don't want to change too much, I don't want to like stretch too far away from the original Pendulum experience. But I do just want to just make things a little bit consistent. There we go. So now we've got a bit more consistency between the two devices. I don't think there was much else I wanted to change on this. Now that that's done, I'm happy with that. We need to go back to the thing here. We need to create another git bash, or I could use the same one that I had. And we need to import those sprites onto the dump that we had before. To do that, it's pretty much the same. So next sprite tool, Digimon sprite tool.exe, import preset. ROM path is /dump backups. pure nightmare soldiers dump.bin, then C3. The input directory is nightmare soldiers sprites, and the output file should be nightmare soldiers new.bin. And there we go. So we've now got a new bin file. We have to take this once again, connect it up to our little clip here, hold the reset button the entire time it is flashing the chip. Let's give that a go. It's going to take some time, but hopefully with a bit of persistence, we'll get through to it. This can take a lot more time, usually about 10 minutes. So yeah, see you in like 10. Oh my god. That, look at my finger. Look at that. That is how long I've been pressing that button, trying to get this to work. Would I recommend doing this? Absolutely not. Unless you've got some kind of permanent solution, I would not recommend modding these things, man. They are so tedious. That said, if you want to mod it and like actually make a full custom device, absolutely go wild with it. But if you're just changing the pink, the color of the poo to pink, you know, the way it should have been, no, I would not recommend. It's just so much extra work, and I'm struggling to get this clip in. There we go. Right, moment of truth. Let's see if it worked. Okay, that's good. We've got a splash screen. We've got a load. Fantastic. It is now 10:12 a.m. We've still got my Otis mod. Feed him. Yep, all happy there. So we either have to wait for him to do a poo, or... Yes, look at that. Scene, screen, and sound. Incredible. So scene just makes a lot more sense to me, rather than... Well, I mean... no, I suppose BG kind of makes sense, but I don't know. I prefer having a word there rather than an abbreviation. I don't know, I like it this way. It keeps it consistent with my other Digimon colors that I've made in English. I might also, at some point, change Battle Connect Digimon to just be other, because that's more consistent with, you know, original Digivices and some of the more modern ones like the Pen Z here. But also, when the Digimon 25th Evolution color, or whatever it's called, comes out, this is going to be compatible with it. It's going to be able to connect. And that's not a Digimon color. That's a separate thing. So I might change that to other at some point. Right, so before I put him back together, you may notice that I brought this Pen Z out. I just want to try something. I want to try swapping the cage and the buttons for this one. Will I like it? Probably not. The black and crimson red just goes so well. But I wouldn't mind seeing it with like a crimson and then this kind of like strawberry red. So let's get this guy open. Okay, so already I'm seeing a difference here. Very, very different shaped buttons. They might work if held in place. Hang on. Yeah, so they do work. What if I put this over the top? Okay. They're a little bit more recessed though, and they don't stick out quite as far. And then these definitely won't go in here. No, not without trimming, and I don't really want to trim it down if I can help it. Yeah, it just feels really spongy and not nice. Alright, so we know we're keeping the buttons where they are. Let's have a look at this. I reckon those might be interchangeable. Hang on. Let's get something flat. Try and pop this out. There we go. Pops right out. So they do look pretty compatible. Let's try putting one in. There we go. It does go in. And then with the buttons. Just looks like it's got lipstick on. Yeah, I think I'll stick with the black. But it's cool to know that you can put the Pen Z cages on there. There's like it fits perfectly. What does it look like when it's all paired together? See, that doesn't look too bad, but I think it's just a no-brainer. The black and red just go so well together. I'll put them back together and then we can reconvene where we left off. What I find is easiest to do is putting the buttons in first, making sure this is all the right way around. Then this bit, I'm going to quickly grab some screen cleaner and a screen wipe, just because this probably got a little bit dusty. The outside doesn't really matter, it's the inside, because obviously you can clean the outside from the outside. I'm not seeing any dust or fingerprints on that. Then you want this to go in there nice and easy. There's always a little bump in there that matches up with one of the screw pegs. So there we go, that's fitting really nice. Let's just once again give it a quick wipe down inside, because once that's in, you have to take the whole thing apart just to get to that screen. We'll do the same for the LCD here in case anything landed on it. Then I like to just hold that in place, gently lower that down on top. Then we can open this sideways. We need to put the screws back in. There's 2 on this main board. We've got 1 in this corner here. Then we've got 1 under the taped on battery. Chain gasket closes up. Make sure you're not getting any wires caught on the sides. Screw it all back in. 2, 3. There we go. Everything's back together. Give the screen a wipe. I think that's a good enough place as any to wrap that up. If you haven't already, check out Alex's channel where we're doing a run through of these. It's fantastic. We're having a lot of fun doing it. We are gushing over these devices entirely. If you want to see what my opinions are of them, go check out that side of things. And if you want to see anything else from me, if you've got any ideas or suggestions, leave those as well, and I might turn that into a video. Thanks for watching, guys, and yeah, Digimon.